Hello everyone, welcome back to Simnest. I'm Nick. Today I'll be reviewing the Sparco Greek Q seat, the Sky version, which is covered in vinyl instead of the standard cloth. My old seat was the Track Racer recliner seat, which served me well for a couple of years. But it's a bit flexy, especially when braking, and the flexy problem got worse when I installed motion on my rig. The sofa-like base absorbs a lot of the subtle movement and haptic feedback from the motion movement, which reduces the level of immersion quite badly. After a bit of googling, the Sparco seat jumped in, and luckily there was a authorized store near me, so I went there and picked up this new seat. Now I have owned this for a couple of months, and I'm here to give you a full rundown. I'll be covering the pricing, the build quality, the installation process, the fit and comfort, and lastly the million-dollar question, is it really worth it? First off, the price. Looking at Sparco's official website, although the Sparco Greek Q is actually their entry-level seat, it's by no means cheap, especially when compared to seats dedicated specifically to sim racing. In the US, it typically runs around $899 USD, and in UK, it normally sells for £480, including VAT. I purchased it with $800 Australian in a local motorsport shop. And on top of that, I also spent an additional $150 Australian for a Sparco branded side mount bracket, which to be honest is not necessary. Any steel bracket with the right bolt patterns will work. I got it mainly because of the Sparco logo. Let's talk about build. The Greek Q is a legit racing seat, built to FIA standards, meaning it's designed for real motorsport. The shell is made from Sparco's QRT fiberglass. I'm not sure what that means, but it is very light, only about 7 kilograms, and at the same time it is pretty rigid. The shell has a glossy black fiberglass finish, and since mine is the Sky version, it's covered in black Sky vinyl, a synthetic leather that is water resistant and durable. While the leather finish might be a bit slippery for real racing, it's perfect for sim racing, where you don't need as much grip compared to real driving. Plus, it's much easier to maintain than the fiber cloth cover, as you can just simply wipe down any spills or sweat stains. The Sparco Greek Q also features a modular padding system, allowing you to remove or reposition the individual Velcro attached foam pads to fine-tune the fit and support. For example, you can remove the padding to create more room if you are a bigger person. It also features raised leg supports to really lock your hips and thighs in place, and the leg support pad can be removed based on your preferences. However, the bottom padding is a bit thin and might give you a numb butt during longer sessions. One of the key reasons I chose this specific model from Sparco is because this model does not have head protection. I mainly race with VR. The head protection may limit the VR headset movement, which breaks the immersion. The seat already has a few slots, so you can install 5 or 6 point harness, making it more immersive if you want to strap yourself in. Overall, the build feels rock solid. The vinyl cover has a thicker, more plasticky feel compared to cloth, but gives off a sense of durability. I'm confident it won't tear or fade anytime soon. Every weld and edge on the shell looks sharp and clean. You can just tell it's been put together with the care and quality in mind. Mounting the seat was straightforward. The Greek Q is a side mount seat, and it only takes 2 MA bolts on each side to attach to the bracket. I used the Sparco branded mounting brackets simply because they look great, but you can use any bracket you want. Sparco's bolt pattern is fairly standard. Once the bracket was in place, it took about maybe 10 minutes to swap out the old seat. I unbolted the Track Racer reclining seat from my sliders and attached the Sparco. I kept the Track Racer sliding rail that I bought together with my old seat, It worked great, no flex at all. The Sparco side bracket feels very sturdy and gives the whole setup a rigid, solid feel. So how does it feel to drive in it? Right off the bat, no surprises that the GridQ is much stiffer than my old reclining seat. When I fire up the motion system, the difference is night and day. Because the Sparco seat is so stiff and doesn't flex, every bump, acceleration, and a turn from the motion base is directly transmitted to my body. I can feel much more subtle movements now, whereas before, the old soft seat was absorbing a lot of motion feedback. So for immersion on the motion rig, it's fantastic. It adds a whole new level of realism, and that adrenaline hit is real. By the way, the motion system I'm using is the HM Motion. Check my channel for the detailed review. I know that not everyone would mount the Sparco seat on the motion rig. So how does the comfort feel in general? The seat base cushion is relatively thin and firm, but the contoured shaping of the shell is ergonomic and helps compensate for the minimum foam. At the end of the day, it is still a real race bucket seat, so it's definitely on the firmer side. The seat is very upright, with a little lumbar support, which puts strain on my lower back during longer sessions. But I've seen others add a small padding behind the lower back. I might do the same later on. One important side note is that the vinyl cover doesn't breathe well. So after about an hour of driving, I felt a bit warm on my back and thighs. Although the cloth seat tend to wick better, the trade-off is that the vinyl is waterproof and easy to clean, whereas the cloth can eventually hold odors and stain. Fit-wise, the GridQ is a one-size seat and might be a little bit narrow for some. It fits me well though. I'm 180 centimeters or 5 feet 11 inches tall, 80 kilograms or 176 pounds, and my waist is around 33 inches. I would say I'm a pretty standard average sized male. In general, small to medium drivers fit fine, but if you are taller or wider, you may find it a little bit tight. On the plus side, you can remove some of the paddings to gain extra room. But if you can access a local store, I highly recommend trying it in person. Now the million-dollar question is it worth it? In my opinion, it's worth it if you, like me, have a motion rig and you really want that hardcore racing feel, and at the same time you fit in the narrow bucket seat. You will love the solid support and the way it transmits every vibration. It's also great if you care about the looks. It will definitely make your rig look more authentic. But if you are someone who prioritizes plush comfort or want more adjustability, this seat is probably not good for you. In my case, I'm pretty happy with the upgrade. The level of immersion really improved a lot because the seat no longer dampens the subtle movement from the motion rig, making me feel more connected to my seat. And to be honest, it looks way better than my old reclining seat. So in conclusion, the Sparco GridQ seat delivers on its promise. It's a well-built, race-inspired bucket seat that cuts out all the flex and improves the feedback. Yes, it's expensive, but you get what you pay for. It's solid construction, genuine race car seat, and also the Sparco pedigree. But at the same time, the trade-offs are real. The synthetic leather seat does not breathe well. The fixed bucket design making getting in and out really difficult, and it sacrifices some comfort, and it is pricey as well. But for a sim racer like me with a motion rig, it's definitely a strong contender.